All right, welcome to the October 5th meeting of the Michigan Financial Wellness Network. I'm Kelly Masters, the chair and founder of the organization. And every month we get together to share resources, to share opportunities, to problem solve, share best practices, and keep this mission of providing meaningful, non-solicitous financial education and resources to Michigan residents of all ages and all walks of life. So I am going to go through today's meeting, hopefully pretty quickly. I do have some really exciting updates to share, and this meeting is being recorded. So anyone who cannot be here today can watch it on demand. And we do have people that watch it. I can see how many views the meetings are getting. And so for folks who are unable to attend our scheduled time, can always watch it on demand. So with that, make sure that our next meeting is on your calendar. It is Wednesday, November 2nd. And then we only have one more meeting in this calendar year for 2022. First update that I hope I can give, if it will go. Oh. This is frustrating. Okay, so I might just have to do it this way. So of course I have to always, with great gratitude, thank our underwriting partners, without whom much of what we do would not be possible. It helps underwrite a portion of my time. It helps underwrite the purchase of materials and books and having a website, doing events and providing programming to low-income schools, just a whole host of things. So I have to thank Ally Financial and Michigan Credit Unions, Raymond James, Anthem Advisors, Community Financial Credit Union came aboard, Michigan Education Trust, Michigan Education Savings Program, all helping with the monetary lift that is required to continue doing this work for the benefit of all Michigan residents. And of course, thanks to MCEE for continuing to be our fiscal agent, which is also a crucial piece of what we're doing. Great collaboration there. I want to ask Alicia if you could unmute and give us an update with regard to funding the future. And I tried last month giving as best I could an update, but I would love to hear from you about the fall tour, which is so exciting because in the past, when we were under the umbrella of the Fed, we weren't encouraged to do programming outside of that 8-day period in April. But now that we are completely independent and have been now for almost 2 years, we do have a fall tour with Carter Halsey, I believe. And I'm wondering if you could give us an update on what you're looking for and where you're looking for shows, if there is still openings on the schedule.
Yes, you bet. Thank you
so
Alicia,
much. Tell everybody who you are first, and then if you can give us an update.
All right, I'm Alicia David, and I'm with Funding the Future. Our program is all over the United States, and I'm based out of Cheyenne, Wyoming. So it's 6:30 in the morning here. My booking director is based out of in Florida. So we have places all over the United States. Our bands are in the Nashville, Tennessee area, and they travel all over the United States and provide financial literacy programs to high school and middle schools. We start out with about a 30-minute program of just actual rock and roll music, where we take the students out of the school, out of the classroom. We bring them to like an auditorium or the gym, and we perform just an actual rock and roll concert, and then transition into financial literacy performance, where we talk just real life conversation about, debt, the importance of savings, really the problems that really face high school, middle age kids. And then the importance of not having a savings plan after you graduate. And so the importance of just putting 20, $10 away, sometimes more, and what that compound interest can do, whether it's compound interest, the good way of saving, or compound interest on a credit card. So what that can do to students, the importance of credit scores and things like that. It's really important for students to learn that before they graduate. And so we have really great connections in Michigan with this group here. We also have great connections with Raymond James to do some sponsorships up there. Derek with the CEE is one of our board members, and so he's a great connection we have up there too. So we have all sorts of wonderful people in Michigan. So we're so excited about what we do up there. In the fall, well, to talk about what we did this past spring, we said that we visited 9 high schools, 7 of which were new, and we did do 2 live streams. We still do offer live streaming so that we're able to reach those students that still are unable to have presentations in person in their schools. So over almost 3,000 students were reached this past spring. So in this fall, we have some dates set. We are visiting at the MANS conference. The MANS conference is a conference that's more about the like the private schools. And so they invited us to participate, and we are doing that conference November 3rd. So while we're in the area, we're going to be visiting, oh, I'm going to murder this one, Wyandotte. Did I say that one right? Middle School in Clinton Township, and the Warrens Woods Tower High School in Warren, Michigan, on November 3rd. So we also have some tour dates available on that side of the state on October 31st, November 1st, or the morning on November 2nd, kind of depending on where the school is located. So if you have anything on there. We also have, let's see, Gooding will be available in the spring, April 17th through the 28th. So depending on locations, just let us know. And we're already starting to book dates for those. She also mentioned, my booking director also mentioned May 1st through the 5th. So we have all sorts of tour dates in May already that were or in the spring that we're already starting to book. So if anybody's looking to get some schools on board, it's always great for this group. You all have great contacts with schools, and it's a free program to schools, so there's no cost to them. We have all sorts of sponsors up there looking to help out with that. So that's all there is.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Yes, so the fall dates, I knew that there were some things already on the schedule. So I think if someone has an interested high school, we can connect them with Cheryl directly. If you, I mean, people can always use me as the conduit because it's just easy. Like I'm a one-stop shop, and then I can put them in touch with the right people, depending on which initiative or which, question they have. So thank you so much, Alicia. I know this is a real early morning for you.
Yes.
So you get the gold star today.
I do have one more thing to add. If you want to check out anything about our program, you can check us out on fundingthefuturelive.org on our website. There's links for our Facebook and our YouTube up there. Lots of great videos on our YouTube channel just to see where we've been and what we do. So
perfect.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. So the other, now going to the younger end of the spectrum, but another in-school opportunity is our Smart Money Magic Show. And, during the pandemic, when in-school options were eliminated, and I was very proud that we were able to pivot and do pre-recorded segments of our Smart Money Magic Show. And it was a brand new show that was available on demand. And I still have those segments if people are interested in utilizing them, primarily targeting classroom teachers. For really K through 5, I think the sweet spot is between like first and fourth grade, if I had to pick. But certainly it's, the littler kids and the older kids can get something out of it. And the segments are only about 4 to 5 minutes long, each one teaching a different lesson from the Planet Z and the Money Tree book. So classroom teachers or financial educators that are working with classroom teachers could utilize these short video segments as a one-off. They could do them in a series. They could use multiples at one time. Classroom teachers really liked the on-demand flexibility that it provided. Now, granted, just like the Funding the Future program, there's nothing like an in-person magic show. However, having it online did allow additional schools and additional classrooms to participate. So there's definitely a trade-off, right, of things being online versus being in person. And I'm thrilled when I looked at the numbers over the weekend, we had over 2,300 views of our 2022 Smart Money Magic Show. And why that's exciting to me is I know that one view is typically at least one classroom. So if you do the math on that, that's a lot of students that we were able to touch this year, since we posted these back up on the end of March. So I'm in conversation with Ally Financial to hopefully they will have an appetite to continue this program that is so incredibly popular with schools. And we're hoping to go back in person. And this would be something that would happen after the first of the year. And my proposal to them is let's take the new lessons or the new magic show around Planet Z and the Money Tree and turn it into a live in-person, say 30 or 40 minute school-wide assembly. So we're in conversation, stay tuned on that. And we would be looking to take that program to, again, geographically, it's challenging to get from Bay City to a lot of parts of the state. So we typically do focus in the Detroit area and LMI schools in Flint. But if you have, schools that you work with that would be interested in the virtual or the online segments, that has no geographic boundaries. So stay tuned on 2023, but I wanted to give an update on the results of this year and kind of where our thinking is going into next year, crossing fingers that Ally has an appetite to continue that funding.
I have a quick question, if I can. So I'm with a financial institution as well. And have you guys given any consideration to, it certainly would be easier, more manageable to have one sponsor for all, but we're not throughout the state of Michigan. So where we would need to concentrate would be the counties where we have a presence. So that's something that we may be interested in taking a look at if, Ally doesn't put the whole bill.
Sure. So Amanda, did you say all state?
So we're primarily Monroe, Wayne, Oakland counties, that area.
Great. I'd love to have a conversation with you about that for sure.
Great.
I'm open to that. Absolutely.
I'll drop my email in the chat.
Well, I was going to say, if you will send me an email to mifinancialwellness@gmail.com, mifinancialwellness@gmail.com, then that will be my tickler to set up a time with you. So that would be I'd love to have that conversation. Thank you so much. And then Kathy asked, would either of these programs be open to youth development organizations such as 4-H, where we could potentially do regionally an after-school setting? The answer is yes. The magic show for sure. And Funding the Future, I know that, Alicia, do you want to speak to that question that's in the chat?
Yes, I was just trying to answer that quickly, but I would love to speak to it. We have done like FBLA, DECA, Boys and Girls Clubs, never have done a 4-H. That would be fantastic to do something like that, but we've done all sorts of those things. So absolutely, we would be very, very interested in that, Kathy.
And so the caveat with that, I will say, Kathy, because you're a realist and I can tell you the real deal. Because of the investment necessary, the monetary investment, it is not an inexpensive proposition. $3,500, I think, is the per show rate. So we just need to make sure, I'm talking about the Funding the Future show, not the magic show. The Funding the Future music program, we need to make sure that there is a minimum audience, right? A minimum number of participants. And so I've been told that number, we need to keep it at least to 300-ish to make it commensurate with the investment and the time necessary to do one of those programs. So Alicia, am I correct, or do I need to be corrected?
Some of these after school programs, we don't necessarily do that many, but a lot of the schools, we like to have a minimum of like 250 to 300 so that we always have a sponsor for the programs, and so that they have a return on their investment. We like to say that a minimum of 250 to 300 for the cost to the sponsor. But a lot of the after school programs, we donate that show to, that. So sometimes those have less than that. So it kind of
would be worth a conversation, you know. So let's get a conversation. Lori, if you want to send me an email, certainly we can, facilitate a conversation with you and Funding the Future. Okay, cool. Good.
Thank you so much.
Yes, my pleasure. And I don't know why this is acting up, but we'll just go with it. Let's see. So yes, let's talk. Okay, so very exciting times. We've been extremely busy over the summer. We, meaning myself and a small but mighty book review task force, and very excited to say that after 2 years of working on and thinking about and having conversations with publishers and illustrators and all kinds of people, we are well on the path of having a new and original book that we are using for our Smart Money Michigan Kids Read program. Owl and Otter in the Big Yard Sale, and you can see a sample illustration of our adorable book characters there on the screen. We have had multiple manuscript reviews and sets of edits that have been gone back and forth with the author and the publisher and my nimble but mighty review team. And through the generosity of Michigan Credit Unions, through the foundation, we will have 9,000 copies available this year. We were able to get a very good per unit rate of this brand new book that no one else will have ever used before us. And so we're super excited that we were the ones that have made this happen. And the publisher is happy because they will now have another book that they can put into their catalog and be made available for purchase by anybody and everybody. But this is the result of the last, well, it's almost 3 years now of working toward this goal. And as of yesterday morning, when I looked at the book request form, we already had, we're probably at 100 now, but we had 97 individual requests for over 5,300 copies. And so 97 requests, let me explain. If you're a librarian who's listening, you know what that means. That means that a youth librarian or a representative of a library placed their request for the number of copies of the book that they will use in money-themed story times during the month of April. So we ask that these books be used during Financial Literacy Month, which is April, between the 1st and the 30th, at story times or activities or events determined by that hosting library. So we're not dictating to them what day and date, time, or exactly how they have to do it. So a lot of libraries will convert an existing story time. They might have a young fives story time on a Tuesday at 10 o'clock. Well, in April, they convert that to a financial literacy event, and they will use our book and get copies so that every family who participates in their program gets a copy of the book to take home and keep. So the 97 requests, in some instances, that might represent, one request might represent, I'll use the example of Genesee District, Genesee, I think it's the Flint, is like 19 branches. So that one request might represent in what we think of as 19 libraries, but in library world, that's one library, okay? So 97 requests could very easily be a multiple of that number. If you think about an individual, like I go to my library and it's a branch, it could be one of 10 or 12 or 19. So we're super excited about that. Librarians love it. Our credit union partners love it. It gives them an opportunity to partner with their local libraries to help with the story time, to help with the craft or the supplemental activities that go around the reading of the book. And we're very intentionally supplementing this storybook with suggested or idea starters, activities and printables and things that can be used by the librarians in their story times. The secondary audience for this is early L educators. Some of our credit union partners work very closely with, kindergarten, first, maybe even second grade teachers, classroom in schools. And so there is an overage beyond the 9,000 copies that we're ordering for unique and innovative programs that credit unions may want to do with other partners besides the public libraries. So we have had programs in kindergarten, first grade classrooms with our credit union partners utilizing this book as well. So I'm super excited. We are on track. We have a very, very rigid timeline to get everything done that needs to be done so that this book can go to print later this month so that we can have it by the 1st of March, as these books will be packed for distribution on Friday, March 3rd. I cross my fingers and, hope and pray that nothing happens that gets in the way of that date. And what I mean by that, if the weather prevents, truckers from getting from Canada to the US or whatever, like there are things out of our control, and we've encountered many of them over the years. But our intention is that the master shipment will arrive in Novi so that we can sort and pack and ship off the individual library requests on March 3rd, so that libraries should have their supply of books well in advance of April 1st. So nobody is worrying about where their books are in advance of their story times. Okay, so very exciting update on that. If anyone has questions, you can always email me or ask me here today about that. But we love these little characters. I've fallen in love with them. The FemPreneur Summit that we had done for several years, that then had a hiatus at the beginning of the pandemic, and then we decided to do online for a year, which was good. We were all doing what we could do. We were thrilled to be back together again the 3rd week of September, and it was fantastic. I forgot how inspiring it is to be in a room with hardworking, bright, supportive, innovative female entrepreneurs. It really filled my bucket. And I believe that was the general consensus of being back together again after 2 years of not being together. So it was wildly successful. I have to give a huge shout out to the underwriting partners who came in sort of toward the 12th hour, because we realized in planning the event, much like your personal or your home grocery bill has gone up significantly, and the cost of a lot of things have gone up significantly, since 2 years ago. we realized that the cost of doing this event had also gone up significantly, even though we are extremely frugal and we look for all kinds of economies to make this a very affordable experience for the women who need this. They need this experience. They need these resources. And so Community Financial Credit Union, Michigan Education Savings Program, and MET, the Michigan Education Trust, all came together to help underwrite a portion of the day so that we could keep ticket prices incredibly low for a full day conference, including lunch. It was $30. We were able to do that because of their financial support. So now we are looking to 2023. We're not going to let the momentum rest. We want to continue and build on that momentum to serve this population of female entrepreneurs. So we are looking for potentially a new venue. We're looking for help with logistics. We're looking for people to help us with our committees. The marketplace, which is our exhibitors, our speakers, our panelists, our programs. We need sponsors. So my ask today is that if you like working with female business owners, or if you would like to work with and support female business owners, please email me and let me know how you would like to be involved, because Heather and I cannot just do it ourselves anymore. We need a committee, we need help. And there are lots of small pieces that can be broken off depending on what a person's interest is and in what ways they want to assist. So very excited that we were able to do it in person. Colleen, I don't know. I don't know if that that sponsorship has not yet been renewed, but we were gonna, have those conversations. Actually, Heather and I are meeting on Friday to really debrief on the whole event and the whole experience while it's still fresh in our minds, and so that we're prepared for planning for next year. So if you want to shoot me an email, that will be a reminder for me to circle back around and keep you in the loop on plans and progress.
But the position's still open then.
I'm sorry?
The position's still open then.
It is still open, and I will have, as with everything, I always give first right of refusal to sponsors that came aboard. And, so I would obviously honor that with everything that we do, whether it's the Kids Read program or the magic shows or FemPreneur, all of that. We always, we honor the first right of refusal. But I have not even been able to come up for air yet to circle around with the sponsors. But I will, I promise, and Ben can keep you posted on that. So, all right, so that is just a big, hearty and very positive experience that we had with FemPreneur Summit. All right, Derek, are you here, my friend? Are you there? Can you unmute?
I am. I just had to unmute. Sorry.
Awesome. All right. So Derek, as most of you know, is president of Michigan Council on Economic Education, and I've asked him to come to meetings when he can, because I think it's better for you all to hear different voices and not always mine. So again, that's why I invite Alicia. I've invited Derek to give us some updates through the MCEE lens. So take it away.
All right. Thank you, Kelly. And it's great to see so many people here today. Have a couple different updates. Always very excited to make sure everybody knows about Smart Path, which is sponsored by the Michigan Credit Union Foundation for the at least remainder of 2022 for teachers to be able to access lessons that are connected to state standards. We have grade band lessons. There's 3 lessons for each grade band. It's something that has an interactive online component as well as printable PDF of activities that can be utilized in the classroom. I know people have used them in libraries as well, and in other youth group situations. So there's a robust amount of things outside of the grade band lessons that will help with racial and social justice and special education groups. And they're working on additional puppet videos as well, because they have some short YouTube video clips now. So that is all available through the Smart Path for grades K through 8. And then the second thing is the kind of
Derek,
update.
before
go
you
ahead.
leave that, can I just make sure, because I heard you say classroom teachers, but I want to make sure that my understanding is correct, that Smart Path is available to financial educators, to after-school programs, to youth serving organizations as well, right?
Yeah, I did kind of mention that a little bit.
Right.
before.
I just want to make sure,
Yeah.
that I was correct.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
We just it's just kind of given by grade band, but I know 5th grade teachers that have done the 4th grade one or have done the 6th grade one. So, it really allows flexibility for teachers to adapt to the needs of their students. They don't need to stick to the grade band unless they're doing a program throughout the entire school. So they don't, the kids don't get the repeated lesson the next year possibly, but yeah,
Cool.
available
Thank
for
you.
anybody. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. And update on the personal finance graduation guarantee. I'm going to have a lot more information on Friday. The Department of Education is finally going to have a meeting with me. It was really weird because they were really excited to have a meeting at first. Then they kind of went silent and said, we need to prepare some things. Right now, I know what they're working on is a district implementation guide. I know that should be finalized sometime soon. That will give guidance to districts as to what this law requires and what the Department of Education, I guess, is giving as options for the districts to meet and fulfill these requirements that are in the legislation that got passed. Then I guess the other thing I know is that they are not going to open up the state standards to have more robust personal finance state standards. Right now, the state standards are within the social studies curriculum, within the economics credit that is within the state standards. So it's a sub item of the economics curriculum, not necessarily curriculum because it's not curriculum, it's just the state standards. It's just listed as state standards under economics. So if you want to dig in and find that a little bit, it's very broad. It pretty much just aligns with the big picture national voluntary standards of earning income and credit and insuring and those types of big concepts. It doesn't drill down really anything more than that. So I was looking forward to more of an outcomes based development of state standards, but I've got 2 different thoughts as to why they may not be opening it, and I'll get those confirmed on Friday as to why they're not opening up those state standards again. Now that's what I know. What I'm hearing and feeling is that the Department of Education is going to try to interpret the new law in a way that is opposite of the intention of the law. The intention of the law was to require a separate personal finance course in addition to everything else that's currently required, but allowing it to substitute in for either world language, a math, or visual arts credit. My feeling on what I'm hearing is that they're going to try to basically say, okay, well, credit and course are different things. The Michigan Merit Curriculum requires credits, I believe, and this legislation requires a course. And so I don't know if they're going to say like, okay, well, what the legislature really meant was credit when they said course, and economics has personal finance within it. And so that's going to cover it, and we don't have to do anything. And we're just going to keep things as they are. It's my guess that we're going to end up with something like that, in which case it's going to be real ugly and not fun for me, because I know that wasn't the intention of the law. But it's kind of weird, this credit thing. Like, you could actually take one course and achieve 4 different credits from one course. You can kind of double up your your credits, it's more like check boxes. A credit would be, whereas a course would be like taking a semester course or a full year course, whatever it happens to be. So I don't have good vibes about this. I don't think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be a nightmare. I think that it's not going to be great, but I don't know any of that. All I know right now is what I told you, that they're not opening up the state standards, and we'll see what happens past that. And I'll get those updates on Friday, I believe, when we have our meeting. So I'm hoping that the tea leaves are wrong, but I'm thinking that they are.
Well,
correct.
Derek, I will be waiting with bated breath, because if you need me to send in Grace, she will be all over this.
Well, unless Grace has a law degree, I think we're going to need differently than Grace. So yeah.
She's not going to be happy.
I know. An unhappy Grace does not sound like a pleasant thing to deal with. So we'll see. Oh well. So beyond that, I think pretty much the last thing that I'll talk about is the Personal Finance Institute for Teachers. I'm going to put this link in the chat, and I'm going to have to just look and make sure I added up the registration. I have any other information I did not put into the registration for our Personal Finance Institute for Teachers. But that's going to be November 4th through 6th at Farmington High School. It's going to be limited to 30 teachers. We received some funding through our national CEE to run this event. Michigan was picked because of the personal finance graduation guarantee that we passed, to kind of help get the ball rolling on making sure teachers are prepared to teach this course. So what this Personal Finance Institute will be is 5 hours of on-demand pre-work that the teachers will do. They will then attend Friday evening from 5 to 8. They will attend Saturday from 8:30 to 4:30, and then Sunday from 8:30 to 1:30. And they will get both industry professionals and expert teachers on all the different topics that you would see taught in a personal finance course, such as is required for graduation. So the event will be the entire weekend. The teachers will receive a $500 stipend for participating, as well as the opportunity to take the WISE Personal Finance Certification Personal Finance Certification test that WISE offers, which really is just a credential that would show maybe their administrator or anybody else that might be interested that they are qualified to teach this course. I know that in some cases there's a competition for who's going to teach the course when it becomes a graduation guarantee. So this might give somebody a little bit of a leg up, showing that they are ready to go and that they've done this deep dive into the WISE, obtaining the WISE certification. So the WISE certification, the different areas of that certification test, I think I have it pulled up here somewhere, so just give me 1 second to look at this. Are the topics that we covered are money, budgeting, and spending plan. When we talk about money, we're talking about earning income and taxes and those things. So budgeting and spending plan, cost of money, which gets into inflation and interest rates, banking, credit, insurance, investing, and money management / financial planning. So we're still finishing up the specifics of the agenda. We kind of have all the slots ready to go, just kind of where they go as far as the shell game of moving them around is still happening. But if you're a professional that would like to work with the 30 educators on this, during this event at Farmington High School, I'm going to put my email in the chat, and you can just email me and say, hey, I'd love to teach on this topic. If you need somebody in the professional world to speak on this, just go ahead and email me and say, I'd love to be part of this event. And that would be great. So the link, please share with teachers. And and it's the first 30 teachers who sign up with a $500 stipend. I'm hoping it will happen fairly quickly to reach our registration cap. So if anybody has
What
any
is that?
questions, feel free to let me know.
What is that cap?
30.
How many people are you hoping? Oh, 30. Okay, sorry, I missed that.
Yeah, no, it's based upon our funding that we've received in the $500 stipend. So
Gotcha.
30, we've got funding for 30 teachers to be able to attend. And again, November 4th through 6th on that.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I have a question. Hello.
Yeah.
Derek, how are you today?
Good.
Good, great. So I have a question about program that you're implementing. Is the program you're implementing is the curriculum that they are going forth with in the schools? Is it select curriculums or is it open to various curriculums? Do they have a certain group of people or certain group of curriculum they want to adopt, put into the schools?
Well, curriculum decisions will be made at each local school district and sometimes by building. So the
Okay.
state will not have a curriculum. They would just have those state standards, and then it would be up to the districts to create their curriculum based upon the needs of their community, as long as it kind of hits those state standards.
Okay, thank you. And the state standards will be available. You don't know when they're going to be available, but it should be available soon.
I'll put them in the chat because they're already available, and they told me that they're not going to open it up for any changes. So I'll share with you what's in the economic standards for personal finance, and it's very, very broad.
Mhm. Awesome. So the last piece of the agenda that I have is just to make sure that everyone has the next two meeting dates on their calendar, November 2nd and December 7th. Before we started the formal meeting, I kind of took a bit of a poll as to if Wednesdays is a good day of the week for these meetings, and it seems to be for most people. Hands down, folks said avoid Mondays and avoid Fridays. Tuesdays are bad for me, so I think we'll probably continue with Wednesdays for next year, and I'll get those dates all set and put that out in the next e-news blast, which I'll probably do the beginning of next week. So most of you are here because you are on our e-news distribution. If you're here as a guest from somebody else's invitation, please make sure that you yourself are subscribed. And you can do that on the partners tab at the myfinancialwellness.org website. Now we do have time. I'm thrilled because my favorite part of this meeting is not me talking. It is getting updates from everybody else in the room. So, oh, Lori had to go. I was just going to call on Lori to give us an update on MSU extension programming. But she put a very thorough note in the chat. The 4-H Future Squad and virtual 4-H club for youth wanting, skills for their future. So there's a lot of good information here. You can always go to the myfinancialwellness.org programs tab, where I keep updated with information that is given to me about programs like this. So kicks off this month for 12 to 19-year-olds. Yeah, and she even put a link, direct link. So that's an update from MSU Extension Youth Division. And I'm going to ask, let's see if I can, there's so many things popping up in my, let's see who else. Happy October. Okay, sorry, I have to go. Okay, Colleen had to go. So we've heard updates from Derek. I'm trying to see who else. If you have updates to share for the good of the order, please unmute. I can call on people, or I see some names I haven't seen in a while. This is wonderful.
Hi, Kelly. Can I make a comment?
Is that Kathy?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sure. Kathy's with MSU Extension Youth also.
Yes. So another thing that we're doing is we have another Adulting 101 series.
Okay.
And it's on Mondays in October and from 6 to 7. And we do have a couple of financial programs. So we have one on making a spending plan work for you. And that's going to be October 17th. And then we also have avoiding money mishaps. So about protecting your identity and avoiding scams and frauds. And that will be October 24th. So I will also put the link in the chat.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay. Thank you so much. And Adulting 101 is for the
Really,
age.
yeah, really anyone, usually teens and young adults, college students and high school students,
Mhm.
but really anyone could come.
Okay. I know some grown folk that could benefit from some adulting classes. Oh, all right. So thanks for adding that. Let's see, do we want to just call on people? I've already heard from Alicia.
I can talk. Hi, Kelly. Haven't seen you in a while.
Who is that?
This is Lakita from the Big
Oh,
Institute.
hi, say where your organization again.
It's called the Big Institute.
Okay, yes, right. Yes, I remember.
Yes.
So tell us what's happening in your universe.
So we have launched our Surviving in the Real World simulation. What we take into schools is a micro city financial literacy pop-up. And students have the opportunity to visit 14 stations. They start off with a random selection of a credit score, career, and household size. And they have to go through these 14 stations to see how those 3 factors affect their life. And at the end, they meet a panel of professionals that ask them, did they survive? And how their decisions affected their livelihood in the simulation. And what would they do when this become their real life? What decisions they will make to improve the quality of their real life? And we have them go through that whole talk about and strategies of what they're going to do moving forward. And
is this something that you take into high schools, or is this
everywhere? We take everywhere. It's a pop-up. So we can take it, we did it in Belle Isle. I mean, you could do it in churches. It takes us an hour to pop up. It looks like a little cute micro city. We have videos. We've been sponsored by Comerica Bank, and they've been sponsoring the simulation. And they also are the volunteers. So they come in, and each organization that we go into, that organization volunteers assist. So far, we've been in schools. We've been in the private schools. We've been in Detroit schools. We've been in Mount Clemens. And so the students from Mount Clemens will come and help run the stations side by side with the volunteers along with us. So it's a huge production, but the students always want to go back through it again and change the outcome of their life. And it's amazing. It's amazing. And we also at our own school called Do It Big Academy offer a series of financial literacy courses for high school students that they can take online. And currently we have partnered with Houston in Texas, and they're doing our financial literacy simulation. So, we're our first event at Mount Clemens High School. We also going to do Girl Scouts. I have 6 more events that we're trying to confirm the dates, but I know Scott was talking to it a couple of years ago. We got Money Start, Tiffany Griffin, you may remember her name.
Yeah.
And so, so we're doing their event on November the 15th. I'm not sure, I don't think it's that day. So it's going really well. Organizations looking for a micro city to come to you. And we pop up our station, and we do ask for volunteers to assist running it. And it is a cost, but it's something that is extraordinary for the student rates.
Well, can you send me a one sheet or email me a link to where all this information is housed?
I sure will.
Okay, so
sure
shoot
will.
that over to me so that I have that. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, who else? We've got a little bit more time here. Who else has some updates to share? I'm gonna just call on you. Kelsey, are you there? Do you want to unmute?
I am here. Not too many updates, finally getting busy now that school is up and starting, doing financial literacy presentations. we just partnered with Delta College. They have a Possible Dreams program. So I'll be providing financial literacy presentations for them. Just doing things like that.
Okay. And you're in what area? Tell everybody where you're located.
I'm at Wildfire Credit Union. That's in the Tri-City area. So Saginaw, Bay City, and Midland.
Perfect. Okay. Awesome. Brandy, do you want to unmute and introduce yourself? Or Amanda? This is our time, so.
I'll go. Hi, I'm Amanda Phoebus. So it has been a bit since I joined. We were working really on getting our financial wellness program relaunched. So we have that now. And so starting to tiptoe back into how to best leverage it in our state. And so we can bring it forward.
Cool. And I see you posted in the chat, you're with First Merchant Bank and you're
I am.
mostly in Monroe and Wayne counties.
Yes, and some in Oakland. We have a small presence in Grand Rapids. So some outside of those two counties, but that's primarily the focused area.
Okay, awesome. Well, welcome back.
Thanks.
I don't have a microphone. I'm a librarian and getting great information. Good. So Brandy, if you are on the Library of Michigan listserv for youth librarians, hopefully you saw the listserv that went out about the Smart Money Michigan Kids Read and our book. So I don't know Brandy, which library are you with? You can put that in the chat if you want. I just want to make sure that you're plugged in with that initiative, which is designed specifically for librarians. And if you're not, I can help you get connected there. Let's see, who else? Oh, you've already put in your order. Yay. All right. Allen Park is on the board. Awesome. Thank you, Brandy, for being here. And now you have more information about that program than probably you had before. I will be sending out confirmations for people who have already requested books. Hopefully I'll do that on Friday this week. So you'll start hearing from me periodically. Let's see, who else? I see Maria is here and Dawn, I know, was in and out on the phone. Anybody else have updates to share?
Well, this is Maria.
Yeah, hi Maria.
Hi, and for those who know me, I'm with Mott Community College Financial Opportunity Center in Flint, and I'm a financial coach. So we are just getting back into, after coming, we're just starting to ramp up, getting back to doing community outreach and things like that. So nothing really new. We did, however, we did launch a new program. We won a grant. They're launching a new program that's geared just to college students. So we're offering, so it's called Money Smart Financial Program, and we are offering one-on-one coaching, but it's geared strictly to the students that go to Mott. So it's like whether they're going through our workforce, our GED, our campus, whatever. So it's open to students, and it's a little bit different than our Financial Opportunity Center, which is an ongoing initiative. This one is only meant for the student to meet with a coach through a semester. And so they meet the coach for the semester, and the goal is that we can assist them with whatever they need. And then we move on to the next semester and we take another group of kids or students, in that semester. So it's a little bit different. And this was an initiative that's being backed by JP Morgan Bank. We're one of 3 community colleges that are involved in this for this year. And then next year they'll bring on another 3 community colleges. So we're kind of the test, the pilot program. So we'll see how it goes. We're really excited about it. So
that's awesome. I wonder if there's some synergy with what you do and the Adulting 101 offering that MSU Extension provides. Have you guys connected on that?
No, we have not. I don't know.
I think there might be. I think it's worth a conversation. I don't know what, but I think it could be a resource for you.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, we should connect and maybe find out more and tell what they do, what we do.
Yeah, for sure. Because you're serving the right age, and population, and it's flexible. So let's get that connected. If you want to shoot me an email, I can get you connected with either Kathy or Lori.
Okay.
Thanks for coming, Aldina. I miss hearing your baby today. So with that, we are at 9:30, and so I want to be conscious of everyone's time, and thank you all so much for having this on your agenda and being engaged and doing what you do all year on behalf of Michigan residents. Be sure to come on back November 2nd when we'll continue having updates and sharing resources. And then our final meeting of the year, December 7th. Please make sure that's on your calendar. And watch for our e-news blast that should come out next week. I'll have the recording of this meeting that you can share with others. If there are people who are not coming to these meetings that you think need to be plugged in, maybe they're associates of yours or community partners, remember the Michigan Financial Wellness Network is for any person or organization that is committed to the financial wellness of Michigan residents in a non-solicitous way. It's pretty basic. Having the right intentions to help people with their personal finance matters. With that, I'm going to say thank you all so much. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you back on November 2nd.